Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good as always. Today I'm down here at Tokyo Station area. Gonna go wander around and do some shooting just for some fun. Do some street shooting today. But what I want to do is, lately I've had the chance to play with the Fujifilm X100V. I really liked the look of the photos. I really liked playing with the camera and that, and it was a really fun and enjoyable thing to do. But I can't just toss down $1,500 to $2,000 on the Fujifilm X100V right at the moment. So thinking what I can do with what I have in my own arsenal. I have the Nikon Z9 as my main camera, and yeah, I just want to kind of change up the look of my photos. The Z9 is an amazing camera, but it's a little too good, maybe you could say. It's a little bit too crisp and clean for what I want to get in my everyday street photos and stuff like that. So what I've done is I've gone and picked up a vintage Nikon lens. This is a nice little vintage Nikon. It's a 50mm 1.4. I picked it up a while ago actually. I just haven't had the chance to really use it. And I got it in Shinjuku for like, geez, it was like $100 if that. So really cheap, but really quite nice actually. Good clean lens. The used stuff here in Japan is insanely good quality. So if you are over here traveling in that and want to pick up a lens or a camera and stuff, check out the used shops in Shinjuku. For now I want to wander around Tokyo and just kind of give this guy a once over. Get some real good street shooting with it and see what I can do. I love the 50mm focal length. I haven't had a 50mm for a while now since I bought the Z9, so see what we can do and see how this works out. So cheers, let's go. So everything basically you see except for me talking with the camera will be shot with this lens, the photos and the video. So let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll talk to you in a sec. Cheers. So as you probably know, if you're shooting with the Z9 or any kind of the Nikon mirrorless cameras, they have a Z mount. So the traditional Nikon lenses have an F mount in that. So traditionally you wouldn't be able to put on the F mount onto the Z cameras. Obviously a different mount, it won't work. But they do have the FT Z2, which you can see is this little part on my camera that's in between the lens and my camera. It is an adapter, which I've been using a lot over the last year when I bought the camera, because I don't want to replace all my lenses with Z lenses just yet. I would love to be able to, but I can't. But one thing this allows us to do is to use a whole host of lenses that we wouldn't be able to use normally. So it's really cool. So this is how I'm able to use this vintage 50mm 1.4 lens that I have on there today. It's really cool. And you know, there's tons and tons of old lenses out there that you can use and pick up real cheap. This is only, like I said, like $150 or $100 or so. So it really opens up a lot of different options for you. Now, one caveat of using these lenses with this adapter is, unfortunately, there is no autofocus. So everything I'm doing today is with manual, which I'm not used to. I am definitely an autofocus photographer. So everything takes just a little bit longer. It's a little bit harder. One good thing though, as you can see that you might have seen in some of the video that I just shot, while you're shooting, what you can do is you can go on the back here, and there's a little plus button. I can digitally zoom in on the viewfinder, double check my focus, and zoom back out, and then take the picture. Adds a bit of a step to the process and makes it so it's a little bit harder to get real quick shots and stuff like that when you're out shooting street. But hey, it is what it is. Can't complain. I'm liking the shot so far. So yeah, let's just keep shooting. But remember, if you want to do any of this kind of stuff with vintage lenses on any Z system, you need to get this FTZ2. I'd get the 2. The 1 has a big knob here on the bottom, which makes it really uncomfortable. The 2 is much more better designed, made it sleeker, and it doesn't get in the way of anything. So pick up the 2, the FTZ2. I'm terrible at remembering names of these things. Let's keep shooting. Yeah, so that was a fun morning. 3 hours walking around Tokyo Station and that. I think we got some good shots. It was a lot of fun. Just, you know, talking about the lens. Lens is good. Lens is nice. The lens I have is really good. You know, with the FTZ2 on here, there's tons of options for these older vintage Nikon lenses out there, and they're super cheap. Mine was like $100 each my yen or so at a shop in Shinjuku. Good quality. The used stuff here is amazing. So no complaints there at all. I'm a little out of breath. Too much walking today. With these lenses, these vintage lenses at least, you're manual shooting the whole time. I'm not a manual shooter. If you're used to that, that's great. It takes a bit of extra work for me to get everything lined up and in focus when I'm shooting manual. I think you saw a couple times though, like I said, you can hit this little plus button on the back and it will digitally zoom in for you. So that's really nice when you're checking your focus. So you can do that, pre-focus on something, and then maybe when someone walks through the frame, you just do a burst of images and get the best one. So that's an option. I did that a lot today and it worked out well. But you know, the thing is with these lenses, like, I really kind of want autofocus out in the street here when I'm shooting street photography, when I'm shooting portraits and anything like that. I don't really want to be fuddling around with manual focus myself. I will leave this lens in my camera bag, and I'm sure I'll pull it out every once in a while just for kind of a different image while I'm doing a portrait and stuff like that. But as far as action or any kind of movement in the street, I probably won't be using this lens again. I should say, for photos. I did really enjoy shooting the video that I shot today. It was kind of like my first time really shooting a lot of B-roll doing this kind of video. So shooting with the film was, the video was tons of fun. It was great. I really liked the manual focus on it. Even if it was autofocus, I probably would still be using the manual focus and stuff like that. So I think if I'm shooting more video and B-roll and stuff like that, it'll be on my camera a lot. And hopefully with my YouTube stuff, and I get better at B-roll, it'll be on there more. So hopefully, you see a bit more of that in the future. Now the thing is though, as soon as you lose the autofocus on this Z9 especially, you lose like 90% of the reason why I even bought this camera, like all the great stuff. Like sure, yes, it has a great sensor, so your images are nice. In the end, you get a big image and that, but you're losing a lot of the reason why I even bought this camera in the first place, this big hunk of metal and electronics and stuff like that. So, this really doesn't, scratch my itch of what was given to me by the Fujifilm X100V. That was like, the movie Inception, where they plant that idea in the lady's head. They put it in a little safe in her mind in the dream world, and then she goes crazy. That's kind of what's happening with me right now with the Fujifilm X100V, because I want a camera like that. But the thing is, I can't drop $1,500, $2,000 on a camera right now. So, I tried this. This is a good alternative, I would say, honestly. But being stuck with manual focus, it's not the end of the world. If you're on a budget, but you already have all the other gear, this adapter doesn't cost that much. It's only a couple $100. Lenses, you can find them everywhere. Good quality ones here in Japan. If you're visiting, come and check out the shops in Shinjuku and that. It's really good. But I wanted something a little different. I want something a little bit more compact, something I just throw on myself and head out shooting, because I see so much stuff every day here in Japan, so many good scenes in that when I don't have a camera on me and I can't carry my Z9 all the time. It's my workhorse. Something happens to it, I'm out of a job, so I need an alternative. So I'll keep looking for that. I'll keep seeing what's going on and keep doing some research online. All in all though, I did have a fun day. It was enjoyable. I probably walked like 20,000 steps around the station here. A lot of cool stuff. Great day. I love shooting in the winter here in Japan because the sun is low all day and you get great shadows. It's just awesome. So if you are over here, if you're traveling for photography in Japan, I do recommend more the winter months than the summer, because the summer is hot and you will die, especially if you're from Canada like myself. And yeah, just come on over, and you know, the shadows here are just amazing. It's such a beautiful day today, so I had tons of fun. Hope you like the photos. If you have any questions about shooting with a vintage lens on a Z camera, hit me up anytime. Your questions are very much appreciated, and yeah, subscribe, like, and all that fun stuff, and I'll see you soon. Now I'm going to go vintage camera shopping in Shinjuku and see if I can get something to scratch that itch. Oh yeah. Thanks guys, talk to you soon. Cheers.